Okay, so welcome to the Art Design and Media Virtual Open Day today. I'd like to introduce myself. My name's Bhavik Sharma and I'm the program lead here for Art Design and Media. And so all the creative courses that fall under me are ones that I look after, and I'll be supporting you and your students on whilst they study with us. I've been part of the college for about 8 years now, and we teach across all spectrums of the creative courses. My personal background, I specialize in fashion and textiles. It's what I studied in. It's what I went into the creative industry with, and I designed and developed high street fast fashion retail brands. So that's my background to give you a little bit more about me. The whole purpose of what I do here at the university and college is really to showcase students the opportunity of the creative industry, to really inspire creativity and to help and build and prepare students on transferable skills that are work ready, so industrial based. So understanding art, there's a lot more. It takes a lot more to entail, and our understanding will sieve into the different subject areas that you may want to go into and perceive. So an architect student will think of art and creation in a different way to the way a jewelry student or a media student would fall under. However, the main objective of what art is have its similarities amongst the courses and programs as well. Just some facts and figures for you here, really. According to The Guardian and The Times in 2025, these are the programs of the top ranking programs here in the UK. So first in ranking is film production and photography. We also have within the top 20 ranking, we have animation and game design. Within the top 30 of the rankings here in the UK, we have architecture, interior design, graphic design and product design. So this is just to give you a bit more content as to how the industry is doing in terms of creative outcomes within the UK. Today is our virtual launch, and it's our launch of our fantastic new programs that we are offering. So amongst the 20 that we're already offering, these are some new foundation programs that are going live as of today for you to start promoting, for students to start applying to. So within art design and media faculty, we have a BA program in art design and creative technologies that's being offered, where students really get the opportunity to be very creative with the traditional technique of art and design, but along with digital art. So it's a combination of digital art with traditional art and design. We have a BA in journalism and a BA in sports journalism. So journalism, the course itself entails of writing skills, and it's about fact findings of studies. We also have film animation and technology, and within film animation technology, we have digital animation, film, screenwriting, and filmmaking. Filmmaking is as it sounds. It's the process of making films, along with how to write a story and putting storyboards together. And digital animation is more computer-based animation and digital art combined together. We have computer technology and games technology, of which we have game design, game technology, art, and games technology. We have education and English, and within education and English, we have a BA in education studies, a BA in English and creative writing, a BA English and journalism, a BA English language and literature on offer, and a BA English literature on offer. Along with some architecture, fashion and jewelry courses, we have MA architecture, MA interior architecture design, MA landscape architecture, MA fashion communication, and an MA in jewelry and related products. So these are pre-master courses. Along with media, we have a media in data journalism and an MA in future media, along with media feature at film development and film distribution and marketing. So these are our new programs that we are offering as of today. So while students are here on the foundation or the postgraduate course, the sort of modules students will be studying with us, depending on whether they're a semester student, a 2 semester student, or a 3 semester student, will really entail of a broad range of skills and learning. So we have modules like mass communication, interactive learning and communication skills, and critical thinking skills, which are our core modules here. These modules will really enable you to understand English language, communication skills through written, reading, and verbal skills. You'll also learn higher order of thinking and how to actually analyze and think of an interpretation of your understanding. Mass communication will entail of things like what's happening in the current day, such as in news around the world, and how this plays an influence in our current day as students or prospective students in the current climate, and what this means to us as aspiring artists, designers, and makers. So those 3 modules are core English language based modules, along with the more creative courses that are on offer. So there's a research module in which students learn research and recording skills and the application of research into their creative application. There are media experimentation modules in which students get an understanding of learning different types of materials, processes, and techniques, and how they apply these within their specialist areas within art and design. There is also an English language and a history of art type of module, which is called interactive learning skills and preparation and progression in art and design, in which we'll really go through the artist's history of art and design in media, where students will be able to learn how to interpret research, interpret art, but also look at an understanding of the history of art and how it's changed to the modern day. What skills do students learn whilst they're at Birmingham City University? So a range of skills. I'm going to invite my students here. So students, when you were on the course with us on the foundation course, what types of skills did you learn?
So if I were to say, uh, even though I have like done editing stuff before, but I would say that those are like basic apps and stuff. But I was like newly introduced to Photoshop. Even though I've heard of it, I had like never really used it, didn't know of the different tools and everything. So I feel like that's a skill that was needed for me. Um, I'm especially because I am doing media production. I feel like it's a really important skill for me. So editing was a really, really important skill for me.
Excellent, fantastic. So that's a skill you learned. Okay, what skill did you learn whilst you were on the foundation program?
So, actually, I learned quite different types, like time time schedule, because like I am a 2 semester student, and the tempo of it will be a bit fast compared with the 3rd semester students, because like my course are squeezed in this
Hmm.
two semester, and I need to arrange time and finish my assignment on time. That's why I need to arrange my schedules, how to balance my daily life and my study life. And also with it as my speaking skills, I think, because like when I first come here, because I'm from Hong Kong, I am not really good at English somehow. And with different type of presentation and you need to perform what your project is going on, I keep talking in English and practicing with it while like consciously. That's why I think I improved it. And in the whole course, I think basically my creative development of art of all your personal development skills are improving somehow, because like we need to get in touch with like different types of uh for example, different type of like material, artists, like designers, and as basic research document. So yeah.
Excellent. So you learn a broad range of skills. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing them with us. Kushi, my dear, could you name a skill that you learnt whilst you were
Yeah.
with us on the foundation?
The main important skill for me was mm, designing a 3D model on a computer, like using app or something.
Yeah.
So I learned like the help of tutors and all. I learned um, SketchUp, which was very helpful and which also helped me out to like get in ahead of the game in BA as well. Additionally, I gained confidence while presenting. I mean, I did 3 semesters, so it was like I had many presentations all over the year,
Mm.
so which has gained my confidence over the 3 semester to make me like easily talk or present in my BA as well to anyone there. Yeah, that was the main thing.
Excellent,
Which
fantastic. Thank you, all three of you, for sharing your ideas. So, really, just to reiterate what the students have said, whilst you're on the program, you get the opportunity of using Microsoft's softwares. The
yeah,
students mentioned for PowerPoint and for presentation, and for written elements such as essay writing, you get the opportunity to learn Microsoft Word. Along with computer-based design, computer-aided design, so CAD skills that most of the students also mention, you're learning and designing what's using the computer or other applications. Practical skills, Kushi mentioned model making. It's how we work in the creative industry. An architect is expected to make models, create models, make CAD illustrations on softwares, to actually see the design itself before it's made. So everything that's being taught here on the program is to an industrial standard because it's work ready skills that you're learning, along with materials, processes and techniques, broad range of materials, broad range of processes, and a broad range of techniques that are appropriate to the students' learning journey for their own individual projects, along with drawing skills, of course. So lots of different creative skills is what you learn whilst you're here on the program, all of which, the sorts of workshop facilities that you'll be using is there's loads of different workshops around campuses that you get the opportunity to study in. These are just a few examples and a snapshot of some of the workshops we have. This is really where the magic takes place. So yes, in the studio, we'll have lectures, we'll have seminars, we'll talk to you about the tasks and activities, but really, these are the spaces in which students get to get their hands dirty, they get to make, they get to design, etc. So we've got a broad range of workshop facilities available to all students to use. So whilst you're also on the program, we also have an art exhibition that we put on at the end of the semester for all students. This is a celebration of the journey a student's been on. Let's take a look at an example. That was just a snapshot of what students have done in a specific semester and the body of work that you will also be putting together while studying with us on a foundation or postgraduate course. So, in terms of assessment methods, whilst you will be studying with us, how will you be assessed? So, really, the way you'll be assessed with will be by creating a body of work. So, lots of portfolio-based assignments, and all your work gets uploaded on an online blog. You will be expected to research broadly in terms of both primary and secondary, and there'll be loads of classroom activities that you'll be engaging with as a part of your assessment process. You'll be expected to write project proposals, to showcase trials and errors and how you've improved from them, a broad range of experimentation and model making, along with reflections and application of what you've been doing. The whole design journey, your journey from start to end and how you got from start to end, along with group presentation, final presentations, and design sheets and exhibition work. So all of which will accumulate to a portfolio of work that you'll be submitting part of assessments. Whilst you're on the program, it is jam-packed with lots of different activities that we do, and for some students it can be a little bit overwhelming. However, like one of my student alumni mentioned earlier, you get to learn how to manage your time effectively. But whilst you're on the program, we also do like to take students on gallery visits. And these are just a few examples of gallery visits that we've taken students to have a look at artists' work. We've been to the Victoria and Albert Museum, the Icon Gallery here in Birmingham, Tate Modern, the Herbert Gallery, Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery, the East Side Project, which is not far from campus, and Wolverhampton Museum. So students really get the opportunity to, not only do they get to showcase their work in an exhibition environment, but they also get the opportunity to see how artists work and to see how their work's also presented in a gallery setup. Now, I can't talk about Birmingham City University International College without mentioning the World Craft City. Birmingham City has just been granted World Craft status here in the Jewellery Quarter in jewellery making. And this is hot off the press. We were awarded a few weeks ago, and it's a fantastic opportunity to really grow the creative arts that's taking place here in Birmingham. Whilst you're on the program, not only do you study, not only do you do lots of work, you'll also get the opportunity to engage with Graduate Plus. Graduate Plus is an extracurriculum activity that really makes students ready for work and for both personal and professional progression. So not only are you learning skills that are industrial focused, but you're also learning the more theoretical knowledge of the creative industry, in which the award is made up of 4 different levels: bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. And we do encourage our students to get engaged with this activity whilst they're here on the programme. So support sessions that are available. So yes, as I mentioned, it's a jam-packed semester and semesters whilst you're here studying with us. There are support sessions. You don't do this on your own. Support's always provided to you from peers and from academics. The support sessions run weekly, and it's really to promote well-being and academic success. So, it will really just support you in settling in whilst you're out of country in a new environment, making friends and developing your own skills, but also the more English language support sessions. We understand English may not necessarily be your first language, and so you will be supported whilst you study with us. Now, I want to hear from the student alumni that I have invited here today. And I just want them very briefly to talk about their experience while studying with us, and maybe the transition from BCUIC into BCU and how they found it and how they found the journey. So, Karishma, I'm going to come to you first. If you just want to briefly talk about your experience, and then we'll move on.
All right. So for me, first of all, I feel like being a foundation student and being in BCIC was a really, really beneficial thing for me personally. I feel like it was a really big plus point, and that's only because obviously I wasn't born or brought up in the UK. I came from India and everything, and obviously whatever you study before coming over here to the UK, it's all different. The way you study, the techniques, and it's all different. So obviously I was a little scared in the beginning. I was nervous. I didn't know if I would fit in. But as like every day went by, I started realizing that, you know, everyone's here, everyone's an international student, everyone's learning new things at the same time. And I think that helped in a way. It helped me with my confidence. I was even able to become a student representative, which was something I never thought I would ever do, but I did. I gave it a shot. Um, and I was able to get my hands dirty in stuff that I never thought that, I would do. I keep saying that, but we did a lot of workshops. One of the workshops that I really loved was the print shop that we did. Yeah, that was one. The whole editing, the whole creating a project and everything. But on the other hand, there's also a lot of stuff where we had to do a lot of presentations. We had an ICT class where we got like all the basics of documents, Words, PowerPoint, Excel, and everything. And at that point, I was a little confused. I'll be very honest. I was like, why are we doing this? Even the whole research process and everything. But when I moved into first year, I started realizing that, okay, this all makes sense now because it is a process. You have to research, you have to, you know, present your ideas to your
Mhm.
tutors, to make sure that whatever project you're doing is right, so. And I feel like a lot of the students in first year might have been lacking, the whole presentation, the whole like point of view, because
Can I,
and I feel like,
sorry, can I just confirm you mean first year as in of the BA program?
yeah,
Yeah, okay, fine.
of like
Yeah.
university, not of BCU, not BCIC. And I don't mean it in a bad way. I just felt a little more confident in myself, and I felt like um foundation really helped with that.
Excellent. So you felt like the skills supported you and made you maybe a student in a better position on the
Yeah,
once
yeah,
you went in.
definitely, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that, Karishma. Kay, how about you? Would you like to share some of your experience of your
Yeah, yeah.
journey?
So, I feel like because I'm from Hong Kong actually, but of course English is not my mother language. So actually, plus I'm an introvert person. I didn't really be confident, especially in a new place to me, like my first time, everything. And somehow, I found out actually all international students in foundation, they're same with me. They're same with me. They're starting from zero, and they are also learning something the same with me. So I'm thinking, oh yeah, maybe I can try to jump out of my comfort zone. So I learned different new things like techniques like Adobe, Illustrator, Photoshop, also material and how the way I usually study in my home country.
Mm.
And somehow I think of, oh, actually, I can get more useful and honest feedback in foundation and make myself more clear, like what I am gonna do and what I need to do in foundation course. And I feel like my study life was like really filled with work
Mm,
assignment, but I'm happy with it because like, oh, I know I am turning more mature, like both physically and mentally, like how I supposed to work out and also communicate with my group mates if necessary, which I didn't like group work actually, but somehow I know I need to do it. And after I go to the first year of jewelry, I actually quite glad that I joined foundation because like, oh, there's a lot of people they are like studying with experience. Like some they got
mm,
like 40 years or 20 years experience. Some of them even get a brand. So I mean like, wow. So if I am not studying foundation and just come to study year one, I'll feel like, oh, there's a large difference and a large gap. And foundation helped me to pull this gap like closer and closer, and also reduce my anxiety and my concern. And yeah.
excellent. Thank you so much for that valuable insight, Kay. And finally, Kushi, a few words from you.
Yeah. For me, I feel like foundation was the place where I was allowed to try all the skills which I've got. Like I literally had played around with different techniques. Like we used like Photoshop and even the hand drawing skills and everything. So I went through all different stages in the whole year, which which was like I would definitely won't get that chance in my BA to like know what stage I am in. And I feel like BCIC gave me opportunity to also have like class attend some of the super studios which are already been in the BCU with the architecture students. So I had an opportunity to like have some workshops with architecture students itself, as well as the architecture tutors in BCU. So it made me a bit more confident because I was knowing what it is about when I went to BA. And I was very known to all of the skills which they used to teach in Super Studio. That was the workshop. And BCIC helped me out to like add me in that and like it was a bit struggling, definitely, because I was not known to any of them there. But still, I was glad that I was the one to get the opportunity to be in one of that workshop and learn something new.
Mm,
Also, BCUIC had like um, the support with me all the time, right? Also, right now, I feel like um, few of the skills which I learned from BCIC will wouldn't have been learned from BCU when I was if I
mm,
directly went to my architectural degree then because I might be waffling around definitely if I don't know what it is about but the whole year the three semester where Pavik was with me they pushed it like okay you need to do it this way and in a good way so that
mm.
it makes us feel like all right, you know.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that, Kushi. All three of you have said beautiful words about your experience on the foundation program and how you all found it of benefit for your transition. And you've all three of you have compared yourself to students who have gone direct to a first year program and have been able to see the difference in skills and abilities. And I'm sure all three of you are playing a leading role amongst your peers and supporting one another in this journey. It's beautiful to hear. So thank you very much for sharing that. On a final note here, this is to those that are watching back at this, any questions, please do not hesitate in getting in touch. We want to hear from you. We want to see the students here in Birmingham City University International College, and we want to be teaching you across art design and media. Please do not hesitate in emailing me. My email address is on the slide here. Alternatively, you can email admissions and info for further information about any programs we have on offer here at the university. On that note, I'm going to leave you all, and it's a pleasure having you all listening to the Art, Design and Media program that we've got here at the University and International College. Bye for now.